Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in a program to be attended by over 2 lakh women in Prayagraj to transfer 1,000 crore rupees to self-help groups benefiting around 16 lakh women. Both houses of parliament adjourned till 2 p.m. More than 6.19 lakh hectare area covered under natural and organic farming in the country informs Centre in Lok Sabha. Over 138 crore 35 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. India and France take stock of the wide-ranging India-France strategic partnership. Saudi Arabia allows Indian nationals vaccinated with Covaxin to enter the country. In Malaysia, at least 14 people have died and lakhs displaced due to severe unprecedented floods. India Meteorological Department says cold wave conditions likely to continue during the next 24 hours in northwest India. And in hockey, India to take on Japan in the semi-final of Asian Champions Trophy in Dhaka this evening. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. In this situation, we appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and help others get vaccinated. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is participating in a unique program on women empowerment, which is being attended by over 2 lakh women in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh today. Many of them were beneficiaries of various government schemes. The Prime Minister also interacted with beneficiaries on the occasion. In an endeavour to support women, the Prime Minister laid the foundation stone of 202 supplementary nutrition manufacturing units and transferred an amount of 1,000 crore rupees in the bank accounts of self-help groups or SHGs, benefiting around 16 lakh women members. This transfer was done under the Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, with 80,000 SHGs receiving Community Investment Fund of rupees 1.10 lakh each and 60,000 SHGs receiving Revolving Fund of rupees 15,000 each. More from our correspondent.
At the banks of Sangam, thousands of women from different corners of the state waited eagerly at parade ground of Prayagraj to listen Prime Minister. The participants shared their experiences with PM and narrated how the government schemes transformed their lives. Schemes like Mukhyamantri Kanya Sumangla Yojana, Ujjwala Yojana, Mukhyamantri Vivah Yojana and State Livelihood Mission have helped a lot to the women of the state. The women associated with self-help groups are playing different roles, from maintaining toilets in rural areas to providing diyas for the posts of function and making themselves self-reliant. The program was held as per the vision of the Prime Minister to empower women by providing them with necessary skills, incentives and resources. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Prayagraj.
Earlier, talking to All India Radio Mission Director of UP Rajya Gramin Ajivika Mission, Bhanu Chand Goswami, told AIR about the participants of the congregation.
यूपी एसआरएलएम के द्वारा इस कार्यक्रम में केंद्रीय भूमिका निभाई जा रही है और इस आयोजन में विशेष हमारे प्रतिभागी डीसी सखी हैं। ये लगभग 54,000 की संख्या में प्रतिभाग करेंगे। जो शौचालय बने हैं उनका रख रखाव जो है वो भी एसएचजी को दिया गया है और एसएचजी में यह काम करने वाली जो हमारी दीदियां हैं वो भी शामिल प्रतिभाग करेंगी। प्रदेश में कुल 204 टीएचआर प्लांट की स्थापना की जा रही है जिनका एसएचजी के द्वारा संचालन होता है। आंगनबाड़ी केंद्र है उनके जो पोषाहार वितरण उनमें होता है उसका निर्माण कार्य कराए जाने का प्रावधान है। 2 जगहों पर टीएचआर प्लांट जो संचालित है और 202 अन्य टीएचआर प्लांट है जिनका की शिलान्यास होना है। एसआरएलएम की जो काडर है वो दीदियां प्रतिभाग करेंगी जिसमें पशु सखी, आजीविका सखी, कृषि सखी, तमाम जो हमारे काडर है उनकी दीदियां इसमें पार्टिसिपेट करेंगी।
Both the Houses of Parliament were adjourned till 2 p.m. following continuous protests by the opposition parties over the Lakhimpur Kheri incident and other issues. When the Rajya Sabha met for the day, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu disallowed the notices given by the opposition party members to suspend business to discuss the Lakhimpur Kheri incident. Following this, members from Congress, TMC, DMK, Left and others created noisy scene leading to adjournment of the House till 2 p.m. The Lok Sabha took up the question hour amid sloganeering by the opposition members. The members from Congress, DMK, TMC and others were in the well raising slogans demanding removal of Minister of State for Home Ajay Kumar Mishra. DMK members were protesting against the NEET examination. Speaker Om Birla repeatedly urged order in the House, but the protesting members did not pay heed. As the ruckus continued, Mr. Birla adjourned the House till 2 p.m. The Agriculture Ministry today said more than 6.19 lakh hectare area has been covered under the natural and organic farming in the country. Replying to a question in the Lok Sabha, the Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Kailash Chaudhary, said the government is promoting zero-budget agriculture under the Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana PKVY. He said for the period of 2019-20, the government has allocated 29 crore rupees for 8 states and more than 4 lakh hectare has been taken up under PKVY. The minister further added that more than 1.23 lakh hectare area has been taken for organic farming under Namami Gange program.
The centre today said that the incidents of hinterland terrorism have come down to zero in 2020 in the country. Replying to a question in the Lok Sabha, the Minister of State for Home Affairs, Nityanand Rai, informed that due to efforts and resolute actions of the Narendra Modi-led government, a sharp decline has been registered in the incidents of hinterland terrorism and left-wing extremism. He further said that the incidents of attack and violence of left-wing extremism have also declined to 70% in 2020 in comparison to 2019. Mr. Rai said that the number of deaths of civilians and security personnel has also declined to 80% during the period. Opposition MPs today marched from Mahatma Gandhi statue in the Parliament to Vijay Chowk over Lakhimpur Kheri incident. Displaying placards, they demanded sacking of Minister of State for Home Ajay Kumar Mishra. Talking to reporters, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi criticized the government over the issue. BJP Parliamentary Party meeting was held in Delhi today. Union Ministers Sarbanand Sonowal, Prahlad Singh Patel and Bhupendra Yadav and Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan were among those who attended the meeting. Briefing media after the meeting, Union Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal said, Vocal for Local, upcoming Good Governance Day and other issues were discussed in the meeting.
The Lok Sabha has developed a mobile app which will enable members of the House to access important parliamentary documents, papers, information related to legislative committees and bills. The Speaker Om Birla informed the House about the newly developed app and urged the members to download this in the mobile sets and tab. He said the app will allow people to watch the live proceedings of the House also. Government has launched the Open Acreage Licensing Program OALP Bid Round 7 for international competitive bidding. The bids can be submitted through a dedicated online e-bidding portal till the 15th of February next year. The award of these blocks is likely to be completed by the end of March 2022. Successful award of Round 7 blocks will add further 15,766 square kilometre of exploration, acreage and cumulative acreage under OALP will be increased to over 2 lakh square kilometres. Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Hardeep Singh Puri has said that the biggest oil and gas tender in the history of the industry has been launched for 75 oil and gas blocks. In a tweet, Mr. Singh termed it as a significant step towards boosting India's domestic oil and gas production.
Niti Aayog has signed a statement of intent with United Nations World Food Programme for the mainstreaming of millets and supporting India in taking lead globally in knowledge exchange. Recognizing the importance of millets, India observed 2018 as a year of millets to encourage and promote the millet production. Leading this initiative further, India spearheaded the UNGA resolution for declaring 2023 as the International Year of Millets. Numerous steps have been taken to promote millets, including establishment of Centre for Excellence, integration of nutri-cereals in National Food Security Act, and establishment of millet mission in multiple states. Despite this, various challenges in terms of production, distribution, and adaptability among consumers remain. Niti Aayog and World Food Programme intends to identify and address these challenges in a systematic and effective manner. Responding to news items that employment generated for first 17 days of December under Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme is the lowest ever, the Ministry of Rural Development has clarified that this is a demand-driven scheme and such comparison is not as per the spirit of the Act. The Ministry added that the scheme allows 7 days window for the entry of data. It said that a comparison based on the data for the first 17 days takes into account 1 person day that have been generated during a minor fraction of December. The Ministry said that during November 2019, 16 crore 92 lakh person days were generated. In November last year, over 23 crore person days got generated, and in November this year, more than 22 crore person days got generated.
The Union government has said that more than 146 crore 42 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. Health Ministry today said that around 17 crore 38 lakh unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states and UTs to be administered. Over 138 crore 35 lakh doses of COVID vaccine have been administered in the country so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Union Health Ministry said more than 64 lakh 56,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said 8,043 COVID patients recovered in the last 24 hours and the national recovery rate stands at 98.40%. The country reported 5,326 new COVID cases in the last 24 hours.
Saudi Arabia has announced that Indian nationals vaccinated with Covaxin are now approved to enter the kingdom. The Indian Embassy in Saudi Arabia announced that the Gulf country has now included Bharat Biotech's Covaxin in its list of approved COVID-19 vaccinations. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Sanjay Pandey of GP Pant Hospital in New Delhi said the new variant Omicron might be less severe. However, the high transmissibility rate could be a worrying factor. He asked people to keep following a COVID-appropriate behavior.
ओमिक्रॉन की जो सबसे चिंता वाली बात है इसका संक्रमण दर है। ये चिंता इसलिए है कि कम समय में ज्यादा केसेस आ सकते हैं। अच्छी बात यह है कि संक्रमण काफी मामूली है। साउथ अफ्रीका डेटा को देखें, पिछले 1 महीने में संक्रमण बहुत तेजी से बढ़ा और बहुत तेजी से नीचे आया, लेकिन ये ट्रांसलेट नहीं हुआ हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन में, नहीं डेथ में। तो घबराने की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन कोविड अप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर बनाए रखें ताकि अगर ओमिक्रॉन इंडिया में फैलता भी है तो केसेस कम हो। ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि सेकेंड वेव की तरह केसेज बढ़ेंगे, लेकिन अगर बढ़ता भी है और माइल्ड होता है तो इसमें कोई चिंता वाली बात नहीं लगती।
In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Phone In with Public, Dr. Piyush Ranjan of AIIMS, New Delhi, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. on telephone number 011-2342-1230 and 011-2342-1764. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by #AskEIR. This live program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.gov.in and YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in a program to be attended by over 2 lakh women in Prayagraj to transfer 1,000 crore rupees to self-help groups benefiting around 16 lakh women. Both houses of parliament adjourned till 2 p.m. More than 6.19 lakh hectare area covered under natural and organic farming in the country, informed Centre and Lok Sabha. Over 138 crore 35 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. India and France take stock of the wide-ranging India-France strategic partnership. Saudi Arabia allows Indian nationals vaccinated with Covaxin to enter the country. In Malaysia, at least 14 people have died and lakhs displaced due to severe unprecedented floods. India Meteorological Department says cold wave conditions likely to continue during the next 24 hours in northwest India. And in hockey, India to take on Japan in the semi-final of the Asian Champions Trophy in Dhaka this evening. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. Now we take you live to the Prime Minister's address at the program in Prayagraj.
ये पोषण वाला राशन और आहार अब सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप में साथ मिलकर महिलाएं खुद बनाएगी. ये भी बहुत बड़ा काम है. सालाना हजारों करोड़ रुपए का काम है. जिन 202 पुष्टाहार उत्पादन यूनिट का आज शिलान्यास हुआ है, उनसे सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप की महिलाओं की आमदनी भी होगी और गांव के किसानों का भी बहुत बड़ा लाभ होगा. गांव की महिलाएं अपनी फैक्ट्री में पुष्टाहार बनाने के लिए फसल अनाज गांव से ही तो खरीदने वाली है. यही तो सशक्तिकरण के वो प्रयास हैं जिन्होंने यूपी की महिलाओं का जीवन बदलना शुरू कर दिया है. सरकार अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में स्वयं सहायता समूह को जो सहायता दे रही है, इसकी एक किस्त के तौर पर आज मुझे 1000 करोड़ रुपए ट्रांसफर करने का सौभाग्य मिला है. यूपी के विकास की धारा अब किसी के रोकने से रुकने वाली नहीं है. उत्तर प्रदेश की महिलाओं ने, माता बहनों बेटियों ने ठान लिया है, अब वो पहले की सरकारों वाला दौर वापस नहीं आने देगी. डबल इंजन की सरकार ने यूपी की महिलाओं को जो सुरक्षा दी है, जो सम्मान दिया है, उनकी गरिमा बढ़ाई है, वो अभूतपूर्व है. भाइयों और बहनों, माताओं बहनों बेटियों, उनका जीवन पीढ़ियों को प्रभावित करने वाला, पीढ़ियों का निर्माण करने वाला जीवन होता है. एक बेटी का सामर्थ्य, उसकी शिक्षा, उसका कौशल सिर्फ परिवार ही नहीं, समाज की, राष्ट्र की दिशा तय करती है. इसलिए 2014 में जब हमने मां भारती के बड़े सपनों, बड़ी आकांक्षाओं को साकार करने का बीड़ा उठाया, तो सबसे पहले देश की बेटी की विश्वास को नई ऊर्जा देने का प्रयास शुरू किया.
Moving on, India and France held Foreign Office consultations today. Both nations took stock of the wide-ranging India-France strategic partnership. In his opening remarks, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla said the Foreign Office consultations come close at the heels of a fruitful visit by Florence Parly, Minister for Armed Forces of France, on 17th of December to hold the third annual defence dialogue with Defence Minister Rajnath Singh.
In West Bengal, Trinamool Congress is set to retain the power in the Kolkata Municipal Corporation. Counting is underway for 144 wards of KMC. According to the latest trends, the ruling Trinamool Congress candidates have won 48 wards and are leading in another 84 wards. BJP has won 3 wards and party candidates are leading in another 2 wards. Congress candidates have won 2 wards while left candidates are leading in 2 wards, and in 3 wards independent candidates are leading. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase hallmarked gold jewellery. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Jago Grahak Jago.
And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember revolutionary Thakur Pyare Lal, who was born on December the 21st, 1891, in Daihan village of Rajnandgaon district, Chhattisgarh. He awakened the public for the national movement and is widely regarded as the founder of the labor movement, as also the leader of the cooperative movement in Chhattisgarh. For his immense contribution to national life, he was awarded the honorary title of Tyag Murti, which means epitome of sacrifice.
After completing his higher education in law, he came in contact with the revolutionaries of Bengal in 1906. He started the promotion of revolutionary literature and organizing the students. In 1920, Rajnandgaon mill workers, led by Thakur Pyare Lal Singh, started a strike that lasted more than 37 days. This was India's first long-term strike, and it managed to reduce the workers' working hours.
With the initiation of the non-cooperation movement by Mahatma Gandhi, he began to campaign for Indian independence from Britain. In 1923, Thakur Pyare Lal led flag satyagraha in various regions of Chhattisgarh. In 1924, he led another mill workers' strike in Rajnandgaon, resulting in further concessions to the workers. He moved to Raipur in 1925 and worked towards Hindu-Muslim unity and upliftment of so-called lower castes. He was imprisoned many times by the British for his nationalistic activities.
Pyare Lal was elected as president of Raipur municipality in 1937. He established Chhattisgarh Weaver Cooperative Association in 1945 to organize the weavers of Chhattisgarh region. After independence, Thakur Pyare Lal travelled to the northeastern parts of India in 1950 with an aim to encourage education among the population, launching the publication Rashtra Bandhu with the same purpose.
In 1951, Pyare Lal resigned from Congress and became a member of the All India Kisan Mazdoor Party, a Gandhian organization led by Chairman Acharya Kripalani. He was elected to the Legislative Assembly from Raipur in 1952 and became the leader of the opposition. He helped extend the Bhudan and Sarvodaya movements of Vinoba Bhave to Chhattisgarh. He travelled extensively on foot across the region over the next 2 years, visiting villages to promote the Bhudan movement.
He started in 1954 with the aim to walk 2,200 miles and visit over 300 villages in 3 months to spread the message of the Bhudan movement. Despite being unwell, on the 20th of October, he continued to deliver a speech before suffering
a fatal heart attack later that day. On the 22nd of October 1954, he was cremated on the banks of the river Kharoon. We salute this great nationalist who continued to work for betterment of citizens till the very end.
On 21st of December 1909, Anant Lakshman Kanhere, a 17-year-old student of Aurangabad, shot the magistrate of Nashik, Jackson, at a theatre where a drama was to be staged in his honor on the eve of his transfer. It is said that Jackson was shot as he was instrumental in getting freedom fighter and elder brother of Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, Ganesh Savarkar, arrested and finally prosecuted.
Jackson got Ganesh Savarkar arrested for printing a 16-page book of songs of Kavi Govind, as he believed that Abhinav Bharat Society was engaged in seditious activities. Krishnaji Karve, Vinayak Deshpande and Anant Kanhere decided to kill Jackson before his transfer to the post of Commissioner of Bombay. Anant decided to execute the plan at Jackson's farewell function.
On 21st of December 1909, when Jackson came to the farewell function, Anant jumped in front of him and shot 4 bullets, killing Jackson immediately. The murder created a great deal of sensation in Nashik, Pune and Mumbai, and it even created disquiet among Indian nationalists because of Jackson's reputation as a sympathetic and popular district officer.
Anant Kanhere, Krishnaji Karve and Vinayak Deshpande were prosecuted in Bombay court and attained martyrdom on the 19th of April 1910. We salute the martyrs.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In today's episode of Aparajita, we will bring you the story of Kanak Lata Barua, veteran freedom fighter from Assam. India Meteorological Department has said that cold wave conditions are likely to continue during the next 24 hours in northwest India. IMD said in a statement that cold wave conditions may continue in some parts of Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh.
In Malaysia, at least 14 people have died and tens of thousands are displaced due to severe floods. 3 days of massive torrential rain over the weekend caused unforeseen flooding in 8 states, partially submerging towns and villages. Several people have been reportedly missing, and fears are mounting that the death toll may rise. In hockey, India will take on Japan in the semi-final of the Men's Asian Champions Trophy in Dhaka this evening. While undefeated India will look to continue their winning streak and book the place in the final, Japan will aim to enter the final for the second time.
In Odisha, Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik launched the Mukhyamantri Vayu Swasthya Seva air ambulance service in Bhubaneswar yesterday to provide health services to people of remote and backward areas of the state. In the first phase, the free service will be available for people of 4 districts: Malkangir, Nabarangpur, Kalahandi and Nuapada. Specialist doctors will be flown to the district headquarters hospital to the patients. Launching the initiative, the Chief Minister, Mr. Patnaik, said the scheme will benefit people from weaker sections of the society and bridge the gap in healthcare services. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi participates in a program to be attended by over 2 lakh women in Prayagraj to transfer 1,000 crore rupees to self-help groups benefiting around 16 lakh women. Both houses of parliament adjourned till 2 p.m. More than 6.19 lakh hectare area covered under natural and organic farming in the country, informed Centre in Lok Sabha. Over 138 crore 35 lakh doses of COVID vaccine administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 98.40%. India and France took stock of the wide-ranging India-France strategic partnership. Saudi Arabia allows Indian nationals vaccinated with Covaxin to enter the country. In Malaysia, at least 14 people have died and lakhs displaced due to severe unprecedented floods. India Meteorological Department says cold wave conditions likely to continue during the next 24 hours in northwest India. And in hockey, India to take on Japan in the semi-final of Asian Champions Trophy in Dhaka this evening. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.